April 28th, 2014. Let me call the Town of Boothbay Harbor Selectmen's meeting to order. As is our wont, we make brief introductions. We have Kelly Bigos, our recording secretary, Town Manager Tom Wooden, and select persons J.D. Warren, Russ Hoffman, Denise Griffin, and I'm Bill Hamblin. The first order of business is to approve the minutes of our April 14th, 2014 meeting.
I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Minutes are approved. The next order of business is financial, and I'll turn the floor over to Julia Latter, our financial officer.
Before you have your expense and revenue sheets, total revenue year to date, $7,009,264. Total expenses, $6,120,304. Does anyone have any questions on their revenue or expense sheets? We are about 95% in tax collection year to date, which is a little ahead of where we were this time last year.
Yeah, I was going to notice that this year's line is above last year's by a small but observable amount. Do we think that's going to continue?
I looked at the tax return today, and it was about 2 weeks ahead of time for.
Okay, so it's a time
Probably
lag.
going to catch, as well as expenses, where we had a 3-week warrant last time.
Yeah. Oh, well, we can hope.
And total accounts payable is $125,924, and the bank balance is $2,762,927.
Any questions for Julia?
Nope.
Looks good, we're on track, things are doing okay? Thank you, Julia. The next order of business is town manager announcements. Turn the floor over to Tom.
Thank you. Just a reminder that town meeting is this Friday and Saturday. The elections are Friday from 8 to 6 here, and Saturday at the elementary school at 9 o'clock are the financial warrants. The budget being presented at town meeting this year is up $32,000, which is slightly under 1%, and our revenues are up roughly $139,000, which is up 15%. That's primarily due to the fact that we're contributing some surplus this year to offset the property tax commitment. But it should be a relatively smooth, hopefully, town meeting this year. And that's all I have at the moment.
Thank you, Tom. I just add my voice to people to turn out and vote on Friday and come to town meeting on Saturday. You will get the government you choose, so you need to participate. Next order of business is the public license hearing. We have multiple applicants for liquor license, victualer's license, and special amusement renewals. I would suggest that we take the liquor licenses as a group. They're all renewals. They have all been initialed by the Chief of Police, and they are for the Blue Moon Cafe, Fisherman's Wharf, Boothbay Lobster Wharf, Rocktide Inn, and Pier 1 Pizza.
I move we take these all as a group.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we take these as a group. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? It passes. Now I would entertain a motion.
Move we approve.
Second.
Approve.
It's been moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. This is a public hearing, so if anybody from the audience wants to speak on these applications, now's the time to do it. Going once, going twice. Any further discussion from the selectmen?
Nope.
All in favor? They are approved. Next, we have two victualers licenses. They are both new. One is for Rosa's Kitchen at 54A Oak Street, a Class A victualers license, which is catering, and Shannons Shelled at 11 Granary Way, which is a Class D, which is a takeout.
It's just as easy to take them separately, so move we approve Rose's Kitchen.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Rose's Kitchen. Any comments from the public? Seeing,
I can say that
Mike.
Rose presented in front of the planning board and met with unanimous approval from the planning board review.
very good.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the select board? All in favor? Motion carries.
And I move we approve Shannons Unshelled.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Shannons Unshelled. Again, any comments from the public? Mike?
Surprisingly, Shannons Unshelled met with the planning board. We had a lively turnout, probably about 12, 15 members from the community. There was a lot of discussion about the application. In the end, there was unanimous consent with the planning board to approve the application, and there was a good discourse that went on with all of the neighbors. So I think you've got a fairly represented application there for you.
Thank you. Any comments from the select board?
Yeah, I got some calls and they were all in favor. People that were, that, I guess they vote for me and whatever, but anyway, they all approved of what you're doing down in the, so that's good. Good luck.
Great news, thank you. very
Good luck.
much.
Any other comments from the select board? Seeing none, all in favor? It's approved. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And lastly, we have 3 renewals for special amusement licenses from Rock Tide, Red Cup Coffee House, and Booth Bay Harbor House of Pizza. These typically are amplified and unamplified music and/or entertainment other than music and/or dancing.
Move we take these as a group.
It's been moved and seconded that we take these as a group. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Move we approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve these applications. Any comment from the public? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
John.
We have an ordinance in this town about amplified music outside of a building. Several years ago, the town of Belfast told Down East Magazine they didn't want to become Camden. Camden told them they didn't want to become Booth Bay. Booth Bay told them they didn't want to become Old Orchard Beach. Last summer, late in the summer, this town gave Old Orchard Beach a run for its money with amplified music, Tugboat, Rock Tide, and Booth Bay Harbor Lost Wharf, all at the same time. I have 2 customers who will not be back this summer. I have another one that's waiting to hear whether they're going to have that kind of music again. If they can't comply with the ordinances, they don't get a license.
Fair point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any discussion from the select board? Seeing none, all in favor? They're approved. That's the end of the public license hearings. Next, we are moving to ongoing business. First item under ongoing business is to finalize a budget letter, which all of you, I think, received a copy of.
Yep.
Denise originally drafted an excellent letter. For the audience, this was came out of the selectmen's work on the budget committee, and we tried to capture some of the things that were discussed, and particularly with the ambulance service. We had a lively discussion and some good ideas, and we wanted to capture those and simply capture those in a letter, and that's what this does. And so, as a formality, the board needs to accept this letter, and then we'll mail it out. So any comments from the select board?
I think it's going to be an asset. It's going to keep the ambulance service on their toes and make them responsible for the budget. And everybody's got to be responsible, and that's the way I feel about it. And Denise, thank you. You did a great job on that letter.
Well, you're welcome. I just put in writing what you all said at the meetings.
Right. And, you know, I think it will and I hope they will take into consideration and take it seriously, because it's important. That's part of our community, is the ambulance service. As you well know, I was on it for 11 years, so I know. You know, it's a vital part of our community, and we must, and I think this makes them more accountable for their budget, and just not, you know, throwing out the figures and paying the bills. I think this makes it more accountable, so that's all I gotta say.
Thanks.
So that'll go on letterhead and
Yeah.
Palmer will come in and sign it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get it out tomorrow.
Any other discussion? No. Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. The next item under ongoing business is the old tennis court planning. As I was drafting this agenda, it struck me as we need to come up with a new name now. We can't call them the old tennis courts for forever. We should call it something recreational area, I guess. It has been almost 3 months now since we first started discussing this. And we solicited input, and I know each of us has gotten input from various sources. I've gotten 7 emails. 6 of them wanted to put in basketball courts in there, and one of the emails wanted to reinstall tennis courts. And I also got one letter which wanted to put in a memorial to our veterans there. Of course, there already is a memorial stone there. So that's the input that I've received, and I know.
My input is, I got 4 emails, and they were for basketball. Let's give something to the kids that, you know, they can play outside and have something that looks nice there. And so my contention is, let's have some basketball courts there for the kids.
So I would like to move this along. I don't think we're going to get any new input, and I thought perhaps one way to do that is to go back to Danielle Betts, who drew up that original plan of that area. She's already familiar with it, and request that she sketch out not a detailed, plan, but a conceptual design of how to make that a gateway. I would like to see the basketball courts. I'd like to see a trolley stop, and if what's also been put forth is the idea of having nose-in parking along Emery Street. I think that has some procedural difficulties because I think that's wetlands.
Yeah.
But Danielle is very versed in that, and I would like to get her opinion on that as well.
Yeah,
So
I think maybe this is what you meant by gateway.
Yes.
Enhanced green space
Yes.
there
Right.
so that we comply with the existing
Absolutely.
zoning ordinances.
Yeah.
And it just will be more eye appeal,
Right, yes.
eye appealing, I guess I should say, to visitors.
I'll be glad to touch base with her tomorrow if you'd like.
Sounds great.
So does that mean hiring her, or how do we do that?
Yeah, I think what we're doing tonight, what I'm suggesting is that we authorize Tom to speak with Danielle and hire her to do that, provided the cost is within what we can tolerate.
I'll take it out of the selectmen's budget, don't worry.
Okay.
Fine with me.
Fine with me. All right with me.
Any comments from the audience on this topic? Mike?
Several days ago, there was an article that was posted on a online forum called greenbiz.com, and it was put on a Facebook page. I don't know if any one of you happened to read it. It's called Why Public Places Are Key to Transforming Our Communities. I've brought a couple of copies of this that I'd be happy to share with you. But it speaks directly to what each of you is saying about the importance of revitalizing and invigorating community by creating gateways and public places. So I'll share this with you. I'm not going to read it to you, but I'll share copies to you, and maybe you can use that for your in part of your decision making. But it just talks about how it's a spark for economic growth and lays the foundation for environmentalism, and it helps to build the community. So I think it's key to everything that we're working on.
Yeah, I think all of us see this as an opportunity
Right.
to improve the gateway. I think that's a good way to capture it,
Absolutely.
and to have more green space and to still provide recreational opportunities for our kids. So
Yep.
I guess I'm making a motion that we authorize Tom to contact Danielle Betts and do all that we said.
Second.
Yeah.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? No? All in favor?
Yeah.
Done. The next order of business, under ongoing business, is the Spirit of America Awards. We're going to obviously discuss the details in executive session, but if anybody in the audience had further ideas about applicants, we certainly can take those into consideration. We have inputs from at least two of the people in the audience here tonight, and there are other inputs that we've received.
Yep.
I'd like to, Mike Tomko, I'd like to offer at least an additional input for consideration. Is this limited only to residents of the harbor?
I think its intent is residents of the harbor.
The
Since Booth Bay has its own Spirit of America Award.
reason why I mention that, and it builds on somewhat of the email and conversation that I've had with you, is that there are a number of people that I feel work in our, and do events and activities in our community that may not necessarily be in Booth Bay Harbor, that may not live in Booth Bay Harbor, the things that take place here. And I almost feel like maybe we're limiting the reward or recognition by saying it's just a harbor resident. These individuals contribute greatly to Booth Bay Harbor. So I'd ask you to at least consider the possibility of thinking of the individual as it contributes to the harbor, not necessarily where they live.
I'll go back and look at the email. I think the email stipulates a resident, but I'll check.
Okay.
Certainly take your advice.
Thank you. Yeah, it's, we're working at doing things as a region, and so I know comp plans, we've looked at it as a multi-town approach, so maybe this is something to build upon. Maybe not.
You might want to pass that along to the Spirit of America folks as well. The concept that it's regional, or should be regional.
Sure.
I think that's all we can discuss at this point in time. The next item is new business, of which there is none, and that brings us to public forum. So again, we turn the floor over to the audience if they have anything they want to raise at this point in time. It's a quiet bunch. Going once, going twice. The next item on the agenda is executive session. There is an addition to the agenda tonight. We actually have two topics to discuss in executive session. One is personnel matters under MRSA Section 4056A, and also real property disposition under MRSA Section 4056C. And for that discussion, the Booth Bay Regional Sewer District trustees are going to join us. Why don't we do that first and do it now?
Okay.
It's 7:42, we're out of executive session, no votes were taken, no decisions were made. The next item under the agenda is warrants, and I would entertain a motion.
Move we approve them upon review.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the warrants upon review. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? And the last item on the agenda is a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. There can be no discussion on this topic. All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you all.